Hello and thanks for checking out TheChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey there, MJ friends. So we're going to be looking at CGC, CRON, APHA, MMNF, and then IIPR. Talking about the general space overall today. Canadian MJ bulls making a statement led by CRON and CGC to the upside in terms of the move that we saw. And today was all about volume, huge bull volume on this leg to the upside. And look at the longer term time frames. It's playing out now for an equilibrium. We have our all-time high, the low of the pullback, this very significant bounce at this point. We're looking for a lower high to be set on the weekly time frame and for a tightening weekly chart into the end of the year. We have earnings to be watching and a lot of these companies approaching. We have the midterms tonight that we're going to be watching. I do believe that we're not going to see any significant reaction in these Canadian MJ names to the midterms. And as far as USMJ goes, we saw a consolidation day today. So essentially, in hindsight, the perfection play would have been selling USMJ at the end of the day yesterday and then buying Canadian MJ's dip first thing this morning. Obviously, we can't expect to be perfect. And if you're a perfectionist, you're not going to last long trading at all. But what we're looking at from now, I'm not interested in USMJ in the short term. I'm watching to see what consolidation looks like on the daily time frame. I'm not interested in Canadian MJ bullish short term. I played some quick flips today, but I need to see some pullback. And some of these names like ACB are very extended on their time frames on this big bull move. And a reason that we saw this big bull volume and follow through, in my opinion, is because as soon as we broke 42.43 on CGC, we have no resistance. The next resistance is up at 47.83. So it's very easy for the price to move in an area with a lack of resistance, which is what we're seeing on those USMJ names. And now Canadian MJ names getting to a level where we don't have as much resistance. So I sold KSHB and CVSI first thing this morning. My game plan going into the day was no matter what, sell half first thing. We saw small gap up opens across both Canadian MJ and USMJ, very small, not significant in any way. So I sold half of my positions instantly on that gap up open. And then a little bit later into the morning, I exited the rest of my positions. And then I started to focus on Canadian MJ. And really at that point, I was planning on being done for the day. Lock in the gains from USMJ from yesterday, and I'll be good to go. But what captured my attention was the CGC volume. And it was the same thing. Look at the hourly volume. The first hour of volume we saw today on CGC, the volume was at 2.74 million. The first hour of yesterday, it was 700,000. We literally saw a 250% increase in volume, and we could see in the first 15 minutes of trading that it was going to be extremely high volume. We saw a dump first thing from the small gap up open, 5-minute oversold bounce. And what I highlighted yesterday is on any gap up open for USMJ, we expect profit taking. And the question is, what does the dip buying look like on that profit taking? That tells you the story. CGC took 10 minutes to see the low of the day, oversold 5-minute. 10 minutes later, we have a new high of the day. That's all you need to see in terms of clearly the bulls are buying the dip. And if we look at these USMJ names that I swung, we had profit taking from the gap up open. Let's make sure I'm in the right spot here. So we had profit taking from the gap up open. We eventually saw a new high of the day. It took 20 minutes, but CVSI was one of the only USMJ names that I saw do that. KSHB saw profit taking first thing, got nowhere near back to the high of the day. And let's look at MedMen real quick. And we pulled back here to start the day, and we couldn't see a new high of the day. So very clearly, the fact that CGC saw the bulls buy the dip and 10 minutes later we're at a new high of the day, and it's the volume behind this move and the 5-minute time frame with no consolidation going straight from the low of the day and bouncing, $3+ We ended up bouncing $3.50, almost 10%. So we bounced about 8% from the low of the day with no consolidation, and the volume we saw behind it, that's more than retail traders. That's institutions and big money making that move so significant. So that captured my attention. I saw, all right, huge volume in Canadian MJ. I was planning on being done today, but I'm going to trade CGC with this volume. So I bought the bull break of $42 with us being very extended, but my intention was buy the bull break of 42, play into this bull momentum, and sell it really quickly right after. So I sold it for a 16-cent gain, just locking in that move. And then I traded it again on this equilibrium on the 5-minute time frame. And the 2-minute chart was where I was watching it play out. And I saw this consolidation, and we had our high of the bull move, low of the pullback, lower high, higher low, another lower high. My lines have stopped drawing. There we go. Double bottom, and then this bull break. So on this bull break of 42.77 on the 2-minute time frame, that's when I started entering my position. And I went to the chat room and said, entering some CGC during this consolidation, as the bull volume today indicates the potential for a strong close. And then the key level for me was the support level where we hit that double bottom. So then as I'm in this trade, I see the bulls get the follow through that we're looking for, and I start to look at different time frames, and I zoom out and I look at the hourly time frame, and I say to myself, man, we are very overextended. So we went straight from the low of the day. At this point, I'm right about here on where I'm in a position, and I looked at this hourly chart and I said, I'm not going to go for a swing here. I'm going to lock in this gain because we are very extended on the hourly time frame, and I'm just going to keep going with base hits. So briefly after, I said I'm all out CGC hourly chart, reminding me to keep locking in base hits. And that's just me reminding myself it's not worth it at this point. Don't read my email. It's not worth it at this point in order to be looking for bigger gains when we're already that extended on the hourly time frame. So we did end up pulling back significantly from that level. And then we had some wild action at the end of the day. Look at the correlation we had to SPY at the end of the day, as SPY started to pick up the volatility as we are getting ready for the midterms. And SPY comparative to CGC, actually this is SPY, and let's now look at CGC in the background. So we had the same pullback on the 5-minute time frame, the same bounce, the same brief consolidation, and then SPY had 20 minutes of huge bull volume and a surge to a new high of the day, and CGC didn't see any of that. And right now, after hours, CGC is up about 1%, and SPY is up about 1%, less than that, a couple points of a percent as well. But it's interesting to see that correlation very significantly strong and then just stop in the last 20 minutes. So all in all, for Canadian MJ tomorrow, we're looking at the bulls in control of the daily time frame. I'm watching for, that's actually SPY. There's CGC. So bulls in control of the daily time frame. A loss of the hourly uptrend and a break of 41.66 will tell me daily consolidation is likely coming. If we do not break 41.66, the bulls keep full control and keep the hourly uptrend in their favor. And obviously they want to see a break of 43.94 first thing to be looking for continuation. So the most important levels for me are that hourly support and the high of the day. We'll see which level breaks first thing as to whether or not we get continuation or not. We also have to be watching, of course, the reaction to the market to the midterms tonight. We're going to be getting information at about 7, 8, and 9 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to steadily be getting more and more information there. And you can look at the futures market reaction as to what SPY is doing, the S&P 500, in response to those results as they do come in. So Cron was the lead bull today with a huge move. We were up almost 15% at some points today. Hourly support here as well. Higher low clearly established at 868. If we are unable to break 958 tomorrow morning, we'll look at a potential top fishing play for bears to make an entry, and then we would look for an hourly equilibrium. If we break 868, we're going to look for a healthy daily consolidation. And again, for these Canadian MJ names, anything that we consolidate, any consolidation we see on the daily is going to look for a higher low, because at this point, every single day of the bounce is a higher low. So we have not seen any consolidation to establish a daily higher low at this point. So again, we can anticipate that consolidation initially will be healthy once we do lose that hourly uptrend. Same thing for Cron. It's just a straight shot on this bounce. When we lose the hourly uptrend, we will look for the daily higher low to be established, and Cron has not lost the hourly uptrend at any point on this bounce since that 650 low. So very significant follow through, and it's all about this hourly range, just like it is for CGC, it is for Cron. Let's see if APH is the same way. Daily chart, nice follow through. Again, higher low every single day. So we have not consolidated on the daily time frame. Hourly support established at the end of the day, 1623. Resistance is 1604. This is the range that we're watching first thing tomorrow. Break of support, and we're looking for daily consolidation and healthy consolidation for the first time since this bounce from the lows on the daily. And if the bulls break 1704, we're looking for continuation. And again, after 1704, next resistance is 1733 and then a lack of resistance. For Cron, if we break the high of the day of 958, we're looking at 988 and then a lack of resistance. And for CGC, if we can break 4394, we're already at that lack of resistance. So it's all about that hourly range as we head into tomorrow. So MedMen, I want to highlight the daily consolidation right now because this is ideal consolidation. And we're wondering, is MedMen giving us an indication that it's the lead to be watching for the USMJ sector? So consolidation started 2 days ago. And if we compare it to these other names, KSHB, which I traded, is just day one of consolidation. CVSI, day one of consolidation. So the fact that MedMen has 2 days of consolidation under its belt makes it look a lot different than some of these other names. But this consolidation is ideal at this point. Again, we were overextended on the daily time frame. We lost the hourly uptrend for MedMen yesterday, indicating that daily consolidation was coming. And at this point, this is ideal daily consolidation, trying for a bull flag and then trying for continuation. So any USMJ name and Canadian MJ name wants to see this kind of consolidation when we do end up consolidating on the daily time frames. We broke hourly support. We did not see much follow through before the bulls started to buy some of that dip. This is contained consolidation leading to that daily pattern. So USMJ is one step ahead now. So we can pretty much say MedMen is the leader in terms of the amount of consolidation that we're seeing. We then have USMJ names like the ones I just pointed out next on the list with 1 day of consolidation. And then we have these major Canadian MJ names that have not started the daily consolidation yet. So there's a bit of a different standpoint where we all are on this pattern. So now we're going to be watching as we head into tomorrow. What's the reaction to the market to the midterms? Can the bulls break to higher highs of Canadian MJ and start the day off strong first thing? If we break the hourly support levels, Canadian MJ daily consolidation is going to be a day or two behind USMJ consolidation, but it will be a very similar setup because the bounce was very similar off of the lows. And what's MedMen doing? Because again, it's the most advanced, I should say the most developed in its consolidation pattern right now. And the best case scenario for everybody would be seeing MedMen form a higher low and then see continuation on this daily chart, in my opinion. So there's a lot to be watching. Things are not clear. The midterms making things a little bit less clear. The setup that we had for USMJ this morning with just this slow, brief consolidation, it's leading to indecision tomorrow for me because we don't have the gap up open and blow off top leading to clear consolidation, and we don't have the very bullish run up leading to the very likely sell the news scenario tomorrow. So this consolidation for USMJ today is already pricing in some of that sell the news tomorrow, which would potentially lessen the blow and make it less significant of consolidation. I'm looking for healthy higher lows on everybody. Because of the size of this bounce, we have a lot of space to work with to form this higher low. And I'm just going to be bouncing around and seeing where the opportunity is, whether it's USMJ or Canadian MJ. And I think MedMen might give us some insight and be a little bit of a canary in the coal mine in terms of what to expect for these other names. IIPR, I want to be watching now. Weekly time frame, we're looking for a higher low to form. And very tight the last 3 weeks. And we can see this on the daily time frame. So we're looking for a trend change on the daily to indicate that our weekly higher low has been established. We have a double bottom, 39.45, 39.56. If we break 42.01, that gives us the higher low and then bull break of lower highs. And we're going to look for our weekly higher low to then be very clearly established. And we're going to look for a bull move up towards about 45 or so. So it's very illiquid compared to some of these names. The bid and the ask spread is wide. The volume is not significant, but I'm going to be watching for a break of 42 to potentially lead to a 5% bull move. So let's see if 42 gets tested after a strong close today and a really tight range over the last couple of weeks. So that's where we stand as we head into tomorrow. I'm all cash and I'm going to be, again, protective and cautious for the rest of the year and watching to see if we get clear daily entries on USMJ names looking for higher lows and if the bulls in Canadian MJ can keep the hourly uptrend and fend off from daily consolidation, at least as far as tomorrow goes. So at this point, if you are in all cash and wondering what to do, I would personally be watching for bearish entries on Canadian MJ, looking for weekly lower highs. Now that can happen now, or that can happen 5 to 10% from now. So trying to time that top is not ideal, but But in terms of having a game plan for the Canadian MJ sector, I'm looking for a weekly lower high and an equilibrium. So if I want to be patient and let a trade come to me, I'm patiently waiting for signals that tell me the bull move is tiring on Canadian MJ and our weekly lower highs are being set. I don't think that's going to happen soon. It might take another week or two to play out, but just as a general mindset in terms of trades a little bit further out to be looking for, that's something that I would be keeping an eye on. Or if I want to be even more patient, I would say I know that a likely lower high is coming on the weekly and then a likely weekly higher low. I'm going to wait for this weekly equilibrium to break before I make any decisions on the larger Canadian MJ names. And that would be exhibiting as a ton of patience as a trader, but that's a possibility as well. So start to establish your game plan for November going forward. You can have a short-term game plan heading into tomorrow and then a longer-term game plan to be scouting out potential trades. And we had a lot of traders going bearish on CGC and all these major names today when that SPY sell-off happened, and that gave a lot of gains very quickly on this pullback. On the 5-minute time frame for CGC, we dumped from 43.83 and lost $2, about 5% in 30 minutes. That's significant. So there's definitely opportunity in both directions with all this volatility. And I'm excited to see how tomorrow plays out. Hope you're well. We'll see you soon.